You ever see something so cute you want to destroy it?
I love you so much.
Happy month of the mythical! There's a ton of exciting content that we're going to get in the next couple weeks, and I intend to make a video for each week of releases, explaining the rare and epic forms of all the monsters that are coming out. So far, we have the epic Monculus and rare Trubble this week, but we can also expect rare Hehehe, epic Nebulob, epic Souza, rare Clacula, rare Anglo, and the rare Pixelotl. We will also get the next wave of ethereal workshop monsters, as well as rare Bazinga and possibly epic Whizbang. Needless to say, there is a ton of research to be done this month. So without further ado, let's dive right into the epic Monculus. To understand the epic Monculus, we need to first discuss the lore implications of the common and rare variants. The common Monculus is canonically one of the very first monsters the Colossals created and imbued with the spark of life. The life formula seasonal is made of bubblerite, which is a versatile construction material that has the unusual ability to animate. The Monculus is supported by a mineral found in the pocket dimension called crystallium, which has been ionized into a plasmic form, which most likely explains why the hands inside the Monculus are flexible and function as the monster's circulatory and digestive system. It's noteworthy to mention that crystallium is a manufactured crystal variant of bubblerite, like how coal and diamond are both carbon-based, but possess different characteristics due to molecular makeup. The rare Monculus is also made of bubblerite, but was an accidental byproduct of creating the original Monculus. The spark of life leapt into a pile of jars and vases and inadvertently formed the rare. This variant is also supported by a plasmic version of crystallium, but the reason for the color change is unknown. For the epic, it's not stated where it falls on the timeline of the Monculus origin story. It appears that it was created after the other two because of the origin of its building materials. Instead of crystallium forming its inner workings, the epic Monculus uses pyrrhizite, which is the crystal designated to the fire monsters and the living core in the Dawn of Fire. In the timeline of My Singing Monsters, the Colossals first experimented with elements in the pocket dimension, and then moved on to create the natural monsters in the main dimension. It would make sense, lore-wise, that the epic Monculus was created after the Colossals moved out of the pocket dimension and began experimenting with materials in the normal monster world. The epic's bio adds to the overall lore of the game by stating the name of the Fire Colossal, which has been split into Haven and Oasis and reunited as Amber Island on the higher plane. The Fire Colossal's name is Dulcitea, which is a combination of the words dulcet, meaning pleasing to the ear, and Tea could just be a feminine suffix. It is possible that the name also pulls from Thea, or Theia, however you want to pronounce it, who was a Greek deity, more specifically the goddess of light. Her children are the deities of the sun, the moon, and the dawn. She also is connected to gold, silver, and gems. I don't know, seems pretty probable to me. Anyway, back to the epic Monculus. Another interesting thing to note is that the epic Monculus is infused with dust from an event called the Big Clanger, which can be compared to the theory of the Big Bang. The only other reference I'm aware of regarding the clanger is the Hehehe's debut video, where it jokingly states that the Hehehe is the keeper of the clanger keys, whatever that means. It might be hinting towards a new revelation regarding the origins of the monster world. But getting back on track, we can also speculate what the Big Clanger was through the implications of the Dawn of Fire Celestials bios. Some of the bios state that there was a cosmic primordial hush before everything just up and exploded into what essentially sounded like a divine Discord call. Plixie and Syncopite were born from the silence before, Blessum blossomed from the cosmic dust, Hornicle was created by the tidal wave of sound, and Furnos was forged in the searing heat of the clanger. So yeah, even though that is the canonical origin of the monster world, we still have a lot of questions about the primordial hush and the events that followed the clanger. At any rate, We now know that the epic Monculus' stony bits are made from condensed cosmic dust. The stardust from the big clanger is infused within the inner machinations of the epic's mind, which, coupled by its close relationship with the element of fire, is what lends to its inherent curiosity towards the origins of the universe. The biggest real-world influence on the rare trubble is a small sea slug known as the leaf slug, or Castaciella carotimae. What are the chances I talk about this animal in 2 videos back to back? Shameless plug for the monster biology. But now we can get detailed. This slug is a gastropod in the order Sacoglossa, which are commonly known as sap-sucking sea slugs. Sacoglossa slugs are known for exhibiting kleptoplasty, which is when the slug consumes algae. It steals the chloroplasts from the algae and incorporates them into its own skin cells. The plant's organelles then provide sugar to the slugs through photosynthesis, which essentially makes the animal solar-powered. In both the leaf slugs and the rare trubble's biology, the chloroplasts are stored in the serrata, which are the large structures protruding from the back of the gastropod, which aid in respiration, like gills. In some cases, in real-world sea slugs, the serrata also contains stinging cells, so think twice before poking any gastropod you find when scuba diving. In the bio of the rare trubble, it mentions that its symbiotic companions, called algernons, deposit chloroplasts from their vegetable diet into the serrata of the mythical. It is important to note that these smaller creatures are not exactly stated to be blubber flies like the common trubble, so it's possible that they fill a similar ecological niche. The name algernon is a mix of the word algae, or algae, the most common plant to use for kleptoplasty. The other name influence is the name algernon, which could have a couple meanings, but none really seem to apply well to the design. The closest reference I could find is the story Flowers for Algernon, in which the protagonist finds an unlikely companionship with a small white mouse. I got distracted when making this video and read the entire book. It's very sad. The bio does portray the algernons as tiny companions, and they are small and white, but the similarities end there. Mr. Eric the Cleric, if you're out there in the vast cosmos of the internet, I'd love for you to explain the inspiration of these little guys. I find it wonderful how Big Blue Bubble consulted you for the rare form as well. What a cool opportunity. Well, that's about it for my yappings on those 2 new monsters. I hope to make videos like this all throughout June so we can really get into the details of each new monster's designs. But until next week, I'm Wiblix the Wobox, and you're watching Creeptanium.